How's it going, everybody? Full disclosure, I made this video for absolutely nobody except myself. No one asked for this. It was just something I was thinking about, and one of those, I guess weird tics or something that I grew up with, as a young man, and I'm still a young man, I guess, but anyway, growing up. But and that's the subject of compact Bibles. So I have here two compact Bibles that I use pretty often. One is just a small little checkbook Bible, nothing fancy about it. It's actually a New King James. I'm going to be doing a review of the New King James here. Actually, that'll probably be the next video, but there's nothing fancy about this thing. It's just a little compact Bible. It doesn't have references per se, cross references. What it does have is, if anyone quotes in the New Testament, if they quote an Old Testament passage, they'll put it down here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, see how they have the footnotes here? Well, they'll put in there not only textual variants, but also cross references if they're quoting from an Old Testament passage. But nothing fancy about this one. The other Bible that I use pretty often is put this in my back pocket. I don't want to drop it. Is actually this one here. And this is a new Scofield reference Bible put out by Oxford. And now, even if you don't like Scofield, I understand why. If you're, example, I am a dispensationalist, but if you're not, that's okay. I personally like this one mainly because, really, it's actually the first modern version of an update to the King James. So the new Scofield, I don't even know if this thing's in print anymore, but they still make Scofield Bibles, but I don't know if this particular edition and the new Scofield is still in print. But what they did is they went through and they found the common words that were either false friends or either the meaning had changed or there was a more modern equivalent. And they went ahead and they updated the text. And what they did is they put in brackets those words that they'd updated. And then in the margins, they put the original words. So if you're someone who prefer the original reading, anytime you see it in a bracket, you could go ahead and look in the margin and see what the original word that they had replaced was. So let me find an example here really quick. I didn't prepare for this. I'm just flipping through here. Okay, here we go. Here's one right here. So in Revelation chapter 10, we have an example here of, let's see here if I can show this. So see here in Revelation chapter 10, we have, see it says scroll right here? Well, if you go over, so see it says HH, if you go over to the margin, HH, right here, it says book. So the original King James word there is book, and but more accurately it would be a scroll. So anyway, they updated it. But the whole reason that I'm making this video for nobody except myself is what are your thoughts on compact Bibles? So the story with me is I always grew up, my dad always used compact Bibles pretty much his whole life. He got saved really out of the Jesus People movement, with like the hippies coming out of, with Chuck Smith and Calvary Chapel. And they all like to carry around these small compact Bibles. And so my dad is, he used Pit Minions, a bunch like this, but it always harkened back in my mind to, to like the circuit riders, those guys that would ride around on horseback back when there weren't enough preachers to teach. And, they would ride from church to church and teach a Sunday, then ride away. Kind of like the first circuit rider really was Samuel. The prophet Samuel talks about how he would go on a circuit. He'd go to the different towns and be a judge and a teacher. But anyway, these compact Bibles, what are your guys' thoughts on them? Do you like compact Bibles? I don't exclusively use these. Like I said, I keep these in my truck, in my backpack, because I can pull them out. So because I really like the King James and I like the system that the Scofield uses here. But then I also like the footnotes and the New King James. So I really use them side by side. But in Portland, Oregon, at the Salem, in Salem, Oregon, at the capital of Oregon, outside of this Capitol building, they have a statue of a circuit rider, and he's sitting on a horse, and he's standing there, and he's holding his Bible open like this as he's reading. He's reading while he's riding. And that image, my dad used to take us there. He grew up in Oregon, and so, and you know, I live in Washington, so it's not that far. But anyway, we used to go there pretty often when I was a little kid, and we'd sit there and we'd look at the statue of the circuit rider. And, you know, I would think about that all the time. The circuit riders were my heroes, these guys that, you know, were faithful in preaching the word of God to people that didn't always have it, or didn't have a teacher readily available. And so, anyway, what are your guys' thoughts on compact Bibles? Again, I made this video just for me. I really, it could be a like a filler episode or filler video, but what are your thoughts? You know, what compact Bibles do you use? Do you guys like compact Bibles? Do you use other? What's your daily driver? You know, tell me what Bible you use in your editions. I love talking about this kind of stuff. But anyway, like I said, and pretty quick here, probably the next video, I'm actually going to be doing a review of the New King James. What are my thoughts on it? And so, you know, keep an eye out for that one. And anyway, I'd like to say this helped you out, but I didn't really share anything useful. I was just sharing my thoughts. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. God bless, and take care. See you later. Bye-bye.